Hello, this is Jcamera here, and today we're going to be looking at the LEGO Batman set 7787, the Battank, the Riddler and Bane's Hideout. Released in 2007 with 668 pieces, originally retailing for $50 US. Nowadays, this is like the rarest Batman set from those years, like the rarest of all time. And you'll be like, if you're lucky, you'll find this used incomplete for like $400 to $500 if you're lucky. If you're like trying to get it like brand new, it might cost you like nearly $1,000. Like, this is the hardest one to get. And because of that, that's why this set is the final one I'm reviewing. Even the 2008 sets I decided to do before this, because I could get my hands on them much easier. So anyway, here are the instructions. So we get the different bags, what's contained in each one, sorting the different bags, the minifigures, and the different builds. We go from smallest to biggest, bat signal in the background, and it shows what pieces we need and how many, which is something they began doing in the 2007 sets. And then when we get to near the end, we have the piece count, the magazines for different clubs and signing in stuff, and then we get a little thing for the Battank, and at the end we get an advertisement for LEGO Batman the video game that came out the following year. So, now we shall take a look at the minifigures. First up is the Batman minifigure. He appeared in two different sets, both being in 2007 with the Batcopter set. The head just uses the usual Batman head seen throughout the theme. And he has no head printing or back minifigure printing. And this is based on the Dark Knight Returns rendition of the minifigure, I believe. I'm pretty sure this is Dark Knight Returns. You can tell by the big logo and bulky belt design. Out of the original 4 Batman minifigures, this one's probably my least favorite just because I'm not a huge fan of Batman wearing blue. Like, I don't mind it, but I prefer him with black. Also, my torso I had to customize because I got this set like from a pick-a-brick order from Bricklink, and the torso is like hundreds of dollars, which is not worth the price if you ask me. This is the proper Batman from the Batcopter set with the right torso. So you can see a comparison there. Let me know what you think of my custom torso. Next up is the original Riddler minifigure. This is basically the same minifigure as the Arkham Asylum set, except he has the addition of a jetpack. I don't count this as part of the minifigures, but since everyone that talks about this set, and even the theme does include it as separate, I may as well. This is a simple little build, the closest the Riddler gets to a vehicle in a set, which is pretty sad, but I don't know, it's something. He has no back printing, and he has, if I can take the hair off, no head printing. The flames on the back are like a trans neon green color, which looks cool. I could see Riddler being smart enough to be scientific with that or something. Really fits the figure and looks cool. The rest of the figure is honestly kind of bland. Even for 2007, I think they could have done a bit better. Like, this is based on the Riddler's debut comic appearance in 1948, but I personally prefer him in a suit rather than a spandex, but they could have added more question marks on the torso, maybe some back printing, but I get it, simple printing. The gloves are a dark bluish grey color that is basically meant to look like purple because Lego didn't have the budget for the purple color, because the Joker also had the same color, and in most versions, in a lot of them, it's like a shade of purple, so I'm just gonna assume it's the same thing with Riddler. The hair and headpiece still hold up today, I'd argue, and look good. And I do have nostalgia for the minifigure, so there's that. And here we have the highlight of the set, Bane. And he is exclusive to this set. He is the only minifigure in the set to have back head printing and just torso printing. He's also one of the few within the theme. The only other figures that have back print, like any sort of printing, is Harley Quinn, Two-Face, and a Two-Face Goon henchman figures. And I like that they made him really muscular. Like, people say he should have been a big fig, but people do forget that sometimes he doesn't always have Venom. Like, this is, I'm assuming, Bane off of Venom. And I like that they're trying to make him look slightly taller and bigger than the average figure. Like, even the head printing looks a lot bigger, which is really neat. And back then, they couldn't really do big figs. And I think, yeah, this is definitely one of the best minifigures of the theme. The dark blue looks really good. This is like the perfect design of him from the Nightfall comics. And I'm glad they didn't do the whole luchador mouth open thing like in other versions, because it would make him look silly. And I don't know if Lego would be able to do that very well with the black head piece they use. The printing on the mask commonly wears off. Mine is actually doing okay, surprisingly. Like, it looks really good in person. If the camera could actually, like, focus, that would be nice. And the torso printing is also really good. It looks a bit better in person, but it looks pretty good on camera too. No arm printing, and the hands are black so they can have the Venom, and he often wears gloves to make him look more brutish. This is one of the Batman sets back then that has the most accessories, or at least up there for one of the most accessories, like the highest count. First up, we have the generic Batarangs that are still used in today's sets. Like most of the other sets, not all, but most, basically except for the smaller sets, there are 3 of these. We get 2 spinning Batarang variants that you're supposed to put on the guns, either to make a new Batman gadget or to, like, disarm the, like, users. Just like that. If I can take these off. Speaking of the guns, we also have a couple of the guns. One for Riddler, one for Bane. Because Bane should be using a much bigger gun, so he'll get the Tommy gun, and Riddler doesn't usually use guns, and I feel like he'll just use a smaller gun if so one of each. Or you can have them be Batman gadgets. I've heard some people do that, but I think with the no gun rule, I wouldn't make Batman do that. And finally, for the standard accessories most of the sets have, we have the handcuffs. We also have a lot of special accessories exclusive to the set. We have some stolen cash by the Riddler or Bane. Some money they stole from either a bank or somewhere else. We get a danger canister, which is the only accessory to have stickers on them, which is really novel and cool. We have some dynamite and a pump to explode it. Some demolition stuff that we don't really get in these sets, which is nice. And this is not an accessory to the set, but this is something I personally added, is the Riddler's cane, because for some reason none of the sets included it, which he really should have. I've seen people make customs of the Lego Batman the video game minifigures, and I'll probably get them one day, but they also made the cane. I don't know if I'll be getting that, but Here's the cane that Riddler had in the DC comic 2014 sets. And I think it's really cool that it's like a pearl gold chrome bar, and I could see Lego making it, and it kind of does look like a question mark on it, so I think it's very clever of Lego. So that's cool. So the first build of the set is this little bike here. This is meant for Bane to go patrolling through his lair, which will be the next build we take a look at. You can flip this up and down, have it shoot. You have a little control panel there. You have this, maybe you can hold down the Tommy gun or something. I don't think it's meant for that, but I don't know, you could do that. The pieces to make this bike with the dark grey wheels and the dark green bike piece are pretty rare. I'm lucky to get it at such a good price. It also comes with flick fire missiles. I put these on there because they're very loose, but if I just take it off, you can just see how they can just fire on like that. And I like the color choice of these with the green because it's like Venom-y, I guess. But regardless, it's a good looking bike. Next up, we have the Riddler and Bane's Hideout, which is just a gate. I can see people being a bit disappointed, and to some degree I am as well, but I think for what it is, not judging it by what it could have been, but what it is, it looks pretty good. There's a lot of red pieces on this gate with the brown chain and the pearl silver gates, which is really nice. We get some signs here, 2 different little towers, and we have a little spotlight to look for any trespassers or Batman, and this can just rotate all around. And we have a little machine gun on this side. And over here we have a wanted poster on Bane. Maybe Riddler wants to double cross Bane, or Bane put it there as a joke, or someone else put it there without knowing it's one of their layers. But regardless, it's a neat little Easter egg that makes this more unique and stand out. And you can move these gates all the way you like, and you can have the Battank just maul this down like this. Or you can even do it the other way around, etc. And if we take a look at the back, they're pretty much just empty. You can maybe have the villains hiding here, or goons ready if you want to make custom goons or whatever. Yeah, this will thankfully not take up too much room on your display, so if you're like short for room, this is a decent little build to have. And the final build of the set, the biggest and I guess the draw of the set minus Bane, is the Battank, which I'm pretty sure is based on the Dark Knight Returns. So this looks pretty good with the stickers, and I think this is like to put fuel in the Battank or some sort of tech thing, I don't know. It comes with more flick fire missiles. Again, it's not supposed to come with these pieces, but because they're so loose, I wanted to put them in. It has a flick fire missile, and if you look back here, it just, once it presses the yellow brick, it just fires like so. You can move these wings around on both sides. You got this here that you can move up and down. I like to keep it in the middle so you can have these either as more weapons or even lights. And most of the set's piece count is within the Technic things that go in here and the tank treads. And this rolls very smoothly and very well. Like, I'm really pleased with this. If you pick it up, though, it will droop, so be careful with that. Still, this is very impressive. You can open the cockpit very easily, and you'll see a little control panel here, all for Batman to sit in. I have a soft cape for Batman, so you don't have to. I don't have to take it off. But if you got the set brand new or didn't want to change the cape at all, you would have to take it off so you wouldn't damage it while putting him in. Although it is a bit of a tight fit with this one because of Batman's cowl. One issue I do have with this vehicle is that, unlike the majority of the vehicles in the theme, there are no way to really store the accessories, minus really the Bat Pod from the Harley Quinn set, but that was like a little side build, and you could put the accessories in the Harley Quinn set like she stole them or something. But otherwise, the majority of the sets, if not all of them, could do it in some way, shape, or form. Not all of them, but most of them. This is one of the very few that couldn't. I guess you could kind of fit them in there, but it's a bit awkward. But otherwise, this is a pretty decent build. Not my favorite with the theme, but it's far from the weakest. I think this is pretty good. I do prefer the Batmobile, but speaking of the Batmobile, I do want to do a size comparison, because when I first got this set, I originally thought this would be the biggest vehicle of the theme, besides the Batwing. Like, it's got no chance in hell topping the Batwing, but comparing it to the other vehicle sets with the Batmobile and Tumbler, this is the size comparison of the Batmobile. It's way wider than the Batmobile, and much taller, and without the flames, it would be longer. As for the Tumbler, it's really close. In fact, yeah, this one, like, without the wings, I think the Tumbler might be around the same height, if not taller, at least from this camera angle. And it's honestly probably wider as well. And then if we compare from this angle, I'd say, yeah, they're roughly the same size. Makes sense as they're both from $50 sets, but still a bit odd. Like, the 2008 line really didn't really have the scaling in mind. It really just recycled figures, and that's all it really had in mind. Not as a knock, just a thought I have with these sets. So there you have it. That concludes the review. I have stopped doing scoring to sets, so I'm not going to bother doing that now. If I had to, like, rank them, I'd say this is, I don't know. I'll probably do a ranking video one day, ranking all the sets. I think most of the sets are at least pretty good, or alright. And yeah, that's all I've got to say. So taking a look at the set collection, I have completed all of the 2006 sets, minus the UCS set, which, as I've said before, I'm skipping. I have done the Batcopter set, I just did this one, and I've done the 2008 sets already, so with this original theme, that's it. We got, like, more DC sets, but I won't be doing the Batman ones. I'll do, like, other superheroes. Maybe I'll do some of the Batman ones one day, but I'll be, like, customizing them with the Lego Batman the video game style of minifigures, and maybe even making significant changes to include characters that we didn't see. As for the future of these videos, I do want to do maybe an accessory count or minifigure collection, and of course a set ranking. But as far as future reviews go, I'm thinking of maybe doing, like, custom minifigure showcase, because I've seen people do collections on the minifigures from Lego Batman the video game, both console and 3DS. So I think I will be doing that. But yeah, that concludes this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.